This is the Southern Cross Series semi-finals, the first of the two semi-finals. We do have deth spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the Red Terran. We just watched him beat Thynar just then. Quite well played there with the Ghost EMPing, and also Cloak Banshees used with the army. Very, very smart work there. Don't really see Banshees used with an army too often, usually just used to harass. In the 6th slot position here, we have Roz as the green Protoss player. He won a PvP 2 games ago. We did cast that, and that was quite well played by him. They're pushing forward with Colossus, denying Dark Templars very, very easily. They did like absolutely no damage until he basically won the game, in which case it didn't matter. They lost a few probes to it, as we see a scout come out from Roz here, just having a quick look. I like this it's usually 7 pylon into the scout or something like that from the Protoss player. They do like to scout early, and they can see a lot of cheese. That's really what's going to happen, because like, you're not going to keep that probe in your opponent's base till tech's up. They're going to wait till they kill it before they get their tech up. So it's always good to use that probe to scout for that early sort of proxy and cheese as he does go this way, trying to find his opponent. Finds he's not in these close positions. So this map is Lost Temple. Slightly Terran favoured map because of the ledges. They can put basically any unit they want there, siege tanks, floors, they can build bunkers, they can do whatever they want there, and they can do decent damage against sort of any expansion. So most players, when you play against a Terran on this map, you have to plan for that. No matter what you do, it can happen so quickly that unless you've got like some observer up to scout it, you need something to be able to see up the ledge. The ledge I'm talking about is this one, of course. So we'll see if he tries to do this game, or whether he maybe takes his expansion somewhere else, maybe the island for the Terran player, because they can float it over there. We'll see what kind of play these guys come up with, as we see the probe here just walking in here, having a bit of a talk to this SCV, getting poked. Doesn't really do any damage though, shield's still holding. Have a look down here, we do have the gateway going down and a pylon. We should see the cybernetics core next, and from there we can see what kind of tech they're going, whether they're going to go maybe for Dark Templars or something, or maybe just a standard sort of rogue, or even just a gateway push. We'll have to wait and see what they do with that. As we see, deth really does like these double supply depots here at the top. I was kind of thinking about this going, why would you do that? But if you think about it, yeah, they can get sniped, but it forces this choke point to be really, really small, and you can kind of sit back here, and it makes your opponent come through here. On the other side though, 2 free depots if your opponent just sort of throws his zealot here and can see him and shoot from the bottom with stalkers. But hey, I'm sure he's a good player, obviously. He knows what he's doing here. As we see a reactor go up, so something different. He did go Tech Lab last game against Protoss. He's going reactor, so obviously wants a few Marines, or maybe he wants to maybe put a factory on it and get something. So 2 gas going up as well. Quite interesting. 2 gas early usually implies he's going sort of maybe a gas-heavy build, which I'm just thinking is Banshees. That's what comes to the top of my head. You do see a factory here, so I'm going to say now, I'm going to make an early call and say he's probably going to go Cloak Banshees. But I'm probably going to get proven wrong with some crazy build here. We'll have to wait and see. Have a look down at the Protoss base. Still haven't seen any tech. Just open production menu so I don't miss any buildings. He is just getting a warp research, obviously, and getting a second pylon. So whether he might expand from here. Stock is up, so he can deny this scout here if it tries to come back. So we'll see what he does from here as his factory is getting closer to completion. Just pumping out Marines from this reactor. Obviously, that's what he wants to defend until he can get maybe Banshees out, maybe tanks, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens, see what he can do. This SCV running away from the Stalker, obviously. There's no point in leaving it there if you can save it, especially if it's an SCV versus Stalker. SCVs don't usually win that, and we see a very quick expansion come down here from Roz. He's gone for 1 gate into a cybernetics core, into an expansion, then into a second gateway, so definitely wants to get an economy advantage early on. As we see Marines here coming forward, he is putting down a bunker at the top of the ramp. Maybe suspects his opponent is going to do maybe a gateway push. It's always safe to have that bunker, and if you don't need it, you can sell it for all its money back later. Damn Terrans. 5 Marines coming down here. Now, this is kind of scouting for Rods, because he can see 5 Marines, and he can kind of assume with either building 2 barracks and building a lot of Marines, or he has that reactor. But we'll see what he does. He has built a tech lab with the factory, and he is building a starport right next to it. See the starport, jump on the tech lab. Whether he goes for cloak or not will be the question here. He might go Raven as well, surprise me completely. We'll see what he does with this build now. Should be a Banshee. No, he's going for a Raven, so there you go. Gas heavy, obviously you can go Banshees or Ravens. He's going for that Raven. Maybe defensively with point defense, or maybe offensively, might try and throw point defenses in his base and put some turrets down behind his minerals. We'll wait and see what he can do with that. Still getting some Marines. Now, one weakness right now I can see is, well, I guess it's not a weakness. He's a good player, he knows what he's doing, but he doesn't have a tech lab on a barracks yet. So he has not got stim, he has not got combat shields, he can't get marauders. So a gateway push could do a bit of damage, especially now if he went more gateway, but we know he's expanding. He's going for that economic advantage now, and he has actually got 3 sentries down here, which is good because this is a decent choke. You can just sort of force field it off if you need to and trap a few units in here with you if he does do a sort of bio push early on. 4 gates up now and a robotics facility, sorry. I imagine he will go for that robotics bay afterwards. Colossus quite strong against Terran. That factory going for a bit of a look around the map, just trying to scout. Obviously he does not need it anymore. He has got the tech lab. Looks like he's going to go double starport, so either to pump out. No, he's going for the Banshees now. So he built 1 Raven, maybe for detection, maybe to stop DTs. Obviously that's a bit of a worry. You don't want to suddenly get DTs running your base. But no, definitely going for the Banshees now on both of them. Is he going to get Cloak is the question. We'll keep an eye on that. We do see an Observer coming out here from Roz, so he is going to be able to see what his opponent is doing with the Banshees, so he's probably going to build a second one in his base. There could be a timing here if he does go for Cloak, but he's not going for Cloak, so he obviously just wants to harass with it normally. He's getting obviously his second base up now, so it's starting to catch up. Obviously with Mules, he should catch up economically soon. Just checking the Harvesters. He's actually 10 Harvesters behind now, so this early Nexus here does put him quite a bit ahead. Obviously Mules can sort of make that difference up a bit, but these gas geysers, once he starts mining from them, are going to be up quite quickly, whereas Deth is only just starting to build his first one. Still hasn't got one there now, especially when you're going for double starport Banshees. Getting extra gases up is good because you can do other things with it. Factory here, just having a bit of a look around. Probably he's going to sit on this ledge. Might even go on this ledge and build a tank on the ledge. Who knows? Keep an eye on that one. Just having a look around, he is a bit worried here. He's got the Stalkers down the bottom here, so he's just sort of worried about drops. He is going for a Stargate as well, and he has got, well, it's going to be 6 gate now. Just check production menu, so he's going for sort of 6 gateways and Stargate as well, so interesting move there. Stargate's pretty good. You can get Void Rays out, you can get, obviously Phoenix aren't that great to be honest in this matchup, but I reckon definitely for Void Rays, a very strong unit, especially when your opponent has Banshees, because Banshees can't attack them. Factory here, walking straight in. He is going to lose that factory, but he's going to scout basically everything of his opponents. Let's just have a quick look just to see what he's seen. He hasn't seen the Stargate though, so he doesn't know he's going that. That could surprise him. He is thinking about pushing. He's moving forward, whether he's actually just going to take out, just going to take out the gold. So he sees his opponent's army isn't that big and thinks he's safe to take that gold expansion. Good move there. That'll start catching him up economically because that gold expansion will give him quite a decent advantage. Just having a look in his base now. He still has the 4 production facilities, unless I'm missing one somewhere. He has got the armory going for upgrades. I don't think it'll be for Thors because Immortals completely destroy Thors. But no, definitely wants ship weapons. So going for a very Banshee heavy build. Definitely looks like he's using Banshee in his army. He's getting Cloak as well. He's getting combat shields as well. So Marine Banshee. Interesting combo. I've never seen it, so I'm not going to judge it yet. I'll wait until it goes into a fight. Although I do like it though, because Banshees really aren't affected by shields. He needs an Observer in there. He can scan, kill the Observer with the Marines, and even if he kills all the Marines, it's just going to be nothing. In fact, he doesn't even have to scan. He has the Raven there for that. And that's actually pretty smart if you think about it. Point defense drone up. Marines do quite a bit of damage, so do Banshees. You can just blow your opponent up. We'll see what he can do from there. Both players holding 1 tower each, so very defensive play here. Have we got a second command center going up anywhere? Not yet. Got to keep an eye on that. He did kill the rocks. I'd like to see that, maybe with this push. We'll have to wait and see. We do see the robotics bay is about to finish, so Colossus should be up soon. We did the Stargate. He's going for Phoenix, so quite interesting. I guess it does make sense if your opponent's going Banshee. Templar Archives as well, so he's kind of going for every tech. So he's just gotten a bit of everything. He can go Colossus, he can go, once this is done, obviously High Templar. He's setting for one little SCV to scout here. He wants to see the army. He has scanned ahead. He can kind of see. He probably saw most of that army there, so he sees the Phoenix, but really that's not much there if you think about it, especially against sort of Marine Banshee. Banshee's very good against gateway units, especially when cloaked, and they do have cloak and they have a lot of energy. He's probably going to check this third before he goes in, or not even that. Not move forward. Let's keep an eye on this push here. Banshee's in the main while Marines go on the bottom. This could divide the army quite well, especially if he doesn't have an Observer. He can't touch that Banshee. But here comes the push now. Can't quite keep an eye on both. Phoenix is going after Banshees. Force fields here, point defense drone, but that has actually got a very big army up quite quickly there. Trapping the Marines in there, doing damage. Point defense drone is out of energy, so it can't stop anymore. That Marines are going to get destroyed. Banshee on the main, taking out the Nexus. He has no detection yet. He's trying to put an Observer towards it, I assume, somewhere. He's going to lose that Nexus, so lost his entire Marine army, but he does have a Nexus down for his opponent. He is scanned now, so he probably will lose his Banshees unless he runs them away. The Phoenixes, though, will chase after them. Obviously, they cannot do any damage to Phoenix, and basically kills a few probes. Now, the problem right now that Death is going to have is the counter push. There is a big this is a very decent sized army. He did not lose much in that push as far as army goes. Sure, he lost his Nexus, but he's got a command center here. Maybe going to take it off and go for the third, but really, this is all he has. He's got 3 Banshees and a few Marines and a Raven. So, and he's starting to build bunkers. He's trying to defend up. He knows his push is going to be incoming. This command center, though, isn't going to be able to go to that third until, you know, this push is going away. He doesn't even have to push in. Just the threat of this army, he won't be able to leave his base because obviously he needs the bunkers to hold this off. But he won't be able to take his third, so he can hold that advantage. Obviously, though, there is one. He has lost his Nexus, so he's 1 down right now. So we'll see if he's going to push in here. Looks like he is. He has seen those Banshees. The Phoenix is moving forward to take them out, but he's pulling back. He is force fielding off. That is good, so it stops the SCVs from repairing it. As we move forward here, he is taking this out. He isn't losing that much, though. He's losing all the bunkers. There's still 1 bunker up and a few Marines. Starting to lose a few units. Good force fields there, preventing the Marines from running away. They do stim, and he has got Marauders and SCVs here trying to get in there to repair, but not going to be able to do much. He's taking out one of the Phoenixes. He takes out the second one. The Banshees can come in and start cleaning up. He's got Vikings. I don't know if that's a good idea, to be honest with you. Didn't really need it. He has got still some units left here. Vikings landing. They are going to get demolished. And he can do quite a bit of damage here. There's a few units left. He's going to pull back. This Cloak Banshee cannot be stopped. So, very close there. He does actually have this Observer here. He can turn around and stun that Banshee. It was low health. No, he doesn't. So, very close there. Both players basically losing their armies. In that time, though, Roz has expanded out to a third. So, good move. But the problem here is Death is going to have the gold. That's a slight advantage for him. Plus him taking out his opponent's Nexus did kill his harvesting for a while. Keep in mind, he is getting Storm right now. He is getting out more Phoenixes. He isn't getting Thermal Lance. So it looks like he's going for like a Storm build. He got the Robo Bay, but decided I'm not going to use it. I don't see any Colossus anywhere. If I just check units real quickly, both players don't have much. There's 7 Zealots, 6 Stalkers, 3 Sentries up against 4 Marauders, 2 Hellions, and 3 Banshees and 5 Marines. So interesting. Harvester count's very even, 52 to 47 in Terran's favour, with 3 Mules up at the moment. Obviously, Mules give him a slight advantage. Bunker here just going to get destroyed. He's going to look at defending this area here. If you can hold this tower, it basically cuts off all your avenues of attack. So you can take basically 6 bases if you want to take this island as well. And you can basically just hold sort of this area from here to here. And you can see this entire area with this tower. It's a good move. Both players doing this. This map can turn into a bit of a long macro game if these positions sort of are spawned. If it's like next to each other, like this position versus this position, is usually a quick game. So this map is quite good in that way, that it's not always the same type of game. It depends a lot on the spawns. You do see a quick SCV running forward there, getting destroyed, just doing a bit of a scout. I don't like that, actually. Like scouting forward and then scanning as well. Anyway, going for the pylons. Moving a second factory over here. He had to build that back to get the tech back up. He is going... What's this? What's he got now? So he's got 2 starports, 5 Raxes, and he does have a Ghost Academy up, so we should see some Ghosts with MP happening soon. Second Armory, so once those upgrades, he's going for ship weapons. So Banshees are getting +3 right now. That is quite crazy, because Banshees do quite a bit of damage, as Roz lags just a little bit. That's actually quite... I hope he does not DC. That would not be good, especially after such a long game. Yeah, he says he's lagging. That is not good. Yeah, he's paused now. So SCV's here moving forward just to scout a bit as we wait for Roz to fix his lag issue.